Facebook Live, YouTube, or Twitter. I'm here with Ronke Ojeikere-Ikoroh, the director of the Society to Heighten Awareness of Women and Children Abuse in Nigeria. We are having an international call today going live, and I'm super excited because Ronke and I have been trying to connect in person for a few years now. We haven't been able to, and this stream has given us an opportunity to have this discussion today. I'm so honored to be here with you, Ronke, to share about what your organization does with, the people watching out here in Canada, maybe in the US, who are watching this feed later on. So let's start off with how are you today, if you want to introduce yourself? And what time is it there?
It's 6:19 in the evening. Good evening, I would say to everybody. I think it's good afternoon wherever you are. My name is Ronke Ojeikere-Ikoroh. You say I'm the executive director, but I love to use the word initiator of Society to Heighten Awareness of Women and Children Abuse. Acronym Sothawaca. Everybody knows me as Sothawaca. We have been in existence for 22 years, and our primary focus is on women, children, youths, and the aged. We are a national non-governmental organization with the United Nations ECOSOC special consultative status, which we got late in 2016. So I would say that we're approximately 3-4 years old with the United Nations status, and we just busy ourselves doing a lot of things on advocacy, on intervention, on prevention, on protection, and all of it. But by and large, Sothawaca is a very interesting organization, and everybody in Sothawaca works as a team. When I'm with my team, you don't know who's boss, you don't know who's the staff, but we just all sit down and we work like one big happy family. Like I said to you many years ago, I said, whatever we do in Sothawaca, we do not do because we have some hidden agenda or some selfish motive. We do it because, it comes straight from the heart. And that's pretty much.
Sorry, everyone, we might be having some technical difficulties. Sorry, Ronke, I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing you. And this happens when we're doing international calls on a Friday afternoon.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
It's gone. Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
But I can't. What have I done?
It might be if you're on the cell phone, Ronke, if you swipe, I think it's left, it should bring the video feedback on.
It's not bringing it.
Oh, I think you had it when you swiped. Yeah. So for everyone who just tuned in now, Ronke is the initiator of Sothawaca, which is the Society to Heighten Awareness of Women and Children Abuse in Nigeria. And we were just talking about all the good things. There we go. You're back. Great. All the good things that Sothawaca is doing in Nigeria for women and children. I was wondering if you could share a little bit about some of the programs that you have, because I noticed you have some counseling, you have outreach, so many good things. Can you share a little bit more about the programs that your organization delivers?
All right. Presently, we are working in a local government. I don't know what you will call it where you are. I think you'll call it a district, but it's up north of my state, and we're doing something on eye care. We got a grant from the Theophilus Danjuma Foundation, and we're working on eye care for the aged, for men and women, for children. And we're, courtesy of the foundation, we are doing eye screening and giving out free eyeglasses. And at the same time, we're doing medications. Week when we were supposed to have this program, I was very because last in that locality and network is very bad out in that locality. So that's what we do. At least that has kept us busy in 2020. We had to take this 6 months break because of COVID, like every other nation went on that break until we were quite sure what was happening. And when we came back to say, let's start to round off activities in the local government, we had to stay back again because we had, I'm sure you heard of the quarrels and all of that uprising that the youths had not too long ago, NSAS and all of that. And because of safety, we had to like stay back to watch the environment to see how safe it was for us to go back. We all know that without the eyes, you and I are wearing glasses. I have pretty much worn glasses almost all my
Me
life.
too.
Yeah, so um, when you catch your eye defects early enough, you are able to correct it. At one point in my life, I had to stop wearing glasses, but as I grew older, I found that I could not do without wearing my glasses. So that's what we're doing, educating individuals that the earlier you take care of your eyes, the better for you. Like in the rural community where I'm working, they don't believe that children should wear glasses. And what do? When a child has problems with their eyes, they primitively drop breast milk. They look for a suckling mother and they drop breast milk in both eyes,
Mm.
not knowing that they are damaging the eye. So
Sorry, Ronke. Oh, sorry,
they
Ronke.
have also going in, we will be able to see them and educate them that there is a need for them to have their eyes checked periodically. We are getting to the phase out stage where when we leave, we're going to ensure that we are leaving the project with the community, let them own it, and also we're going to be giving them eye equipment like the uh, trial lens kit, the snail chart, and then the ophthalmoscope. So we're going to be leaving it with them. Hopefully, we want to believe that we have trained them enough to be able to use the kit. And we're going to ensure that we tell the local government chairman that there will be the need for him to have an ophthalmologist or an optician or optometrist, whichever they can afford, so that that equipment will not just be sitting down gathering dust. So that's what Sothawaca has done this year. This year again, not too long ago, we were one of the organizations that Edo State government had when they just got their sexual assault response center. And Sothawaca is one of the organizations that are in there volunteering for counseling of sexual abuse victims, or like we now say, sexual abuse survivors, so that it's not as if we're scarring them. So we're there, and it's been challenging, but it's been very exciting. I must tell you, every new day is a new page of something different. You never can tell what your tomorrow is going to look like. So what I just do is I try to sleep it off, and then tomorrow I let tomorrow take care of itself. Um,
I love that.
we
I love that,
we're
Ronke.
just everywhere. Yeah,
I love that. Sleep it off
we're
and
just
tomorrow will take care of itself. It's a very mindful way of being as well. Like you do so much for so many, and um, we. I don't want to make any assumptions. Like I'm just tell me about like the areas that you're working in. Are they cities? Are they like more villages kind of thing?
rural West. We're working in we work out of communities, rural communities, villages.
Mm-hmm.
Villages. If you know the village, what village looks like, yes, we're working out of villages. Our physical office is in the city, it's in the headquarters of Edo State. So we at least we're domiciled there, but most of our activities take us out into the rural communities, and that's where that's where we run our mileage. Yeah, we go out there every other week.
Beautiful, Ronke. And
So
I know it must be also. Tell me about some of the challenges that you've had or the difficulties you've had in reaching out to people who are survivors of childhood sexual abuse or domestic violence. What's that been like for you and your workers?
well, it gets very emotional, I must tell you. Um, our major challenge actually is seeing a victim, be it sexual abuse or domestic violence, seeing them go through the rudiments of it all. Um, let's take, for example, a little child of 3 years old, 4 years old, or even younger, is being sexually violated. And you find parents telling you they don't want to even continue with the case because of stigma. One, away from the perpetrators themselves and their family threatening you, those are other things that we go through. I just talked about the SAC Center that Edo State just opened. At least now we can tell victims that, listen, you don't have to pay for anything. Find your way to the center, from screening to medication to having the going to the police station and all of it. You find that everything is done for you virtually free. Just bring yourself, make your report, and then leave it at a desk. You understand? But unlike before, where parents or victims will tell you that they do not have money to continue with all this case, because you go to the police station, XYZ amount of money to a center where everything is virtually done for. So at least that challenge, we've been able to overcome that challenge, you know. But then and again, with families thinking that their words will be stigmatized, you know. They say you can force a horse to the river, but you can't cry more than the bereaved. So if a family on starting a case tells you, I do not want to be, I don't want to continue with this case, there's very little we can do about it. We can't force them to say you must do it, but we try to encourage them, and we try to tell them that whatever we do is not in your interest. In this, is it actually in the best interest of the child? Think about the child. Think about the fact that when this child grows up, and she turns around and says to you, Mommy, Daddy, what did you do when I was violated? You should be able to say you stood up and you acted as a voice for your child, and you ensured that that child got justice. Not just telling the child, oh, well, family this, family that, because in Nigeria, I don't know whether it happens in Canada, but they have this thing about all intertwined in all of these. So one has to be very careful. So when a victim tells you we're no more interested in it, you just KIV and hope that one day they will revisit the issue. That on one side with sexual abuse. Why also look at domestic violence, which is another heinous crime that is being committed to both men and women, because right now women are even taking advantage, that they're now beginning to maim and kill their husbands, because they're like, enough is enough. You can't keep beating me, you can't keep hurting me. You
Right.
understand? those kind of people, you bring them, when they come reporting to you many a times, and you think that they want to, they should prosecute, they turn around and say to you that, oh, he's my husband, he's the father of my children, I cannot be seen speaking against him, my family would not do this, my family would not do that, who looks after my children when I move out, and all of that. And those people are the ones that are so badly physically abused. Well, I always tell people that it's not even the physical abuse that matters to me. It is the mental and the psychological abuse that women go through. Even men these days are beginning to experience that same kind of abuse that women have been experiencing. So how do you treat that? I saw your adverts the other day talking about mental health and everything. And I'm like, okay, everybody is now beginning to think about the mental stability of a human being, so, and that is what we try to make clients understand that, listen, yes, the scar would heal, the wound will heal. Even if it doesn't leave a scar that is visible, what about the scar in the heart? How do you go from there? And then if there are children involved in it, I mean, have you thought about the children? Because we look at children, and children practically rehearse the kind of things their parents say to one another. Are you bringing up these children properly? So those are the things that we do. We try to talk to children, we try to talk to adults. Now we are even beginning to say, listen, why don't we now look at the boy child and see how we can make the boy child a better man for the future, not just being a man who's a man that would be bossing his siblings. Start to tell a man that it is not just your siblings that should be doing things. You should also be seen to be doing things for your siblings. So those are the things that matter, and those are the things that we look at, because we look at the health issues of individuals. If you do not have a well mind, you cannot be a well individual. That's the way we look at it.
Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing. Thank you for sharing, Ronke. I really appreciate, hearing more from you about what your agency does. And I love your statement, like breaking the circle of abuse. And it sounds like you're doing it from a comprehensive standpoint, looking at all the different layers that affect people when they are abused: psychological issues, mental, emotional, societal. Like you're taking a very comprehensive lens at abuse, whether it's physical, sexual, or emotional abuse there. And I love that, there's a center now in your area that helps survivors gain access to services that otherwise they wouldn't have access to, like financial issues seem to be a
Yes,
barrier, stigma is
yes,
another barrier.
yes.
So you're slowly unwinding all those barriers for people, which is amazing. And I commend you on the success that you've had thus far. You've been around for 22 years, so has the Gatehouse. So we're the same age essentially.
Wow.
So that's amazing. I wanted to ask you, what's the big goal for next year? Because I know this year, we're all experiencing.
This year is 1 year that everybody would just want to slide past
I want
and
to
pray
erase
you.
it.
Yes, and pray you survive the year. You understand? This year to me did not exist. So our work plan for 2020, we would have to um, shift everything into 2021 and see how we can marry 2021 and 2020, 2021 together. You understand? Because we virtually have not done anything. I don't know about the Gatehouse. I don't know whether the COVID affected you like it affected us. But we'll see how we can. We'll see how we can work on it to ensure that we'll make the best out of it. So 2021, God willing, we should be able to look at things in a broader spectrum and see how we can better our lots, and also look at the things that we have missed out, the things that we ought to do which we haven't done, the things we have done which we have not done well. Those are the things that we really would look at in the first quarter of 2021, so that we can now start off and see how we can do a fire brigade thing to ensure that we can also capture issues of 2021 and not carrying it over to 2022. So that's what we will do. But by and large, it's still going to center around the things that are Sothawaca's primary focus, and we'll work from there. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing today, Ronke. I really appreciate everything that you've shared thus far and getting people to know more about Sothawaca. You have a website, sothawaca.org, and hopefully it'll be on the screen. If not, I will post it later on social media, the exact web address and your social pages so people can follow along as well. I love seeing all your news reports. You're always on TV or doing some kind of press around your organization, spreading awareness so that people know about you. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Keep that up. I look forward to connecting with you again in a year and seeing how everything's changed or gotten better, because this year is almost done. I'm looking forward to 2021.
This year is done.
This year's done. It's over. Yes. It's Christmas time.
Everybody, this year is done. Yes, this year is done. You can't do too much anymore. It's gone.
We're done. It's done. Oh, that's hilarious. What we did, just to share a little bit about how it affected the Gatehouse. So we would only do in-person services in one location in the city of Toronto here. And COVID forced us to close the facility down. We couldn't operate in person. It's just too small to have people properly distanced with masks on and all that health and safety measures, right? So we moved all our programs to online. So we use Zoom meetings to facilitate peer support groups for adult survivors of childhood sexual abuse. The children's side of things, we are still offering a space for Children's Aid to use for police investigations or helping families that are reconnecting with one another or that need some counseling or support. So they are still using the Gatehouse facility for that side of things with the children. The adults are all online. We do our intakes online through Zoom or over the phone. And we're trying to also create something specifically for seniors, people over the age of 65, who are also survivors of childhood sexual abuse, who also have issues connecting with technology. So we're trying to look at how we can support seniors over the phone, either in a group setting or an individual setting, so that they have access to services, because we find that seniors sometimes have issues with technology. So we want to support them as well and connecting them to other services. We're very fortunate in the city of Toronto to have organizations that connect, their purpose is to connect other organizations together. So I was on the phone yesterday with an organization 211 that helps connect people to services, and we were all sharing about what have been our challenges. Funding is a huge challenge. We've seen donations.
And without funding, you really cannot do too much.
Exactly.
I don't know about you, but we really cannot do too much. So I always keep the issue of funding. I don't make it like the top one. I always keep it to the bottom, because I know that we would eventually talk about funding. Funding has been a major challenge. And then particularly this year of COVID-19, everybody is holding on tight to, we don't know what tomorrow is going to look like. So we can't really be giving out too much, because you talked about your office actually closing. We had to start doing skeletal operations. We come into the office only 3 times in a week. At times, we just do online meetings, and That's it, because there's really, you do not want to endanger your staff,
That's right.
and you don't want, because you know who you are, you don't know who the other person is. So um, we try to stay out of the view of people, so that we remain this thing about you need to stay well, and you need to stay healthy, and you need to stay safe. So we have done all that. Mask wearing for me has been most uncomfortable, but since it's almost like something you must wear when you are out of the house, then we have all learned to adapt to that situation, so that we don't we don't go outside and bring in something to our
Exactly.
families. Yeah.
Exactly. We're
Mm.
staying safe and healthy, and I'm glad that you're safe and healthy, Ronke, and keep doing the work that you're doing. I want to say thank you so much for spending time with me today, and thank you to your team for all the
Okay.
amazing work they continue to do there on the ground in Nigeria. And this is an international call for anybody who's tuned in right now. Ronke is the uh, fire starter, the CEO, the founder
Initiator.
of Sothawaca, which is the Society to Heighten
Yes.
Awareness of Women and Children Abuse, and they are in Edo State, Nigeria.
It
Uh,
does say yes, yes.
Beautiful. And we're super honored to be connected with you. It's been 7 years of off and on conversations, creating this network of international
Yes.
partner agencies. And we're so glad to work with you and support you in any way that we can. And we are all on this journey together, Ronke. Say hello to your team and thank you again for all the amazing work that they do
I
to help
will.
survivors of childhood sexual abuse. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, Ronke. This is available now on
Thank
Facebook,
you.
Twitter, and
Thank you.
YouTube for people to please share this video, raise awareness about what Ronke is doing in Nigeria to help survivors as well. Thank you, Ronke. It's been wonderful to connect with you
Thank
today.
you. Say hello to everybody for me. Tell them I look forward to seeing them sometime very soon.
Us too,
Thank you very
Ronke.
much for having me. Thank you.
Thank